Inspector Border shows the world that this deck is still an absolute monster, and if you're a hero fan, well, this doubleheader breakdown is going to be something you're going to enjoy. Alright, to the 34% of you that not smash the living crap out of that subscribe button, smash it so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So the Fire Kaguya breakdown is something interesting. Now, I've been enjoying covering all of these cool different videos, and it really goes to show that there's a lot of cool things here that has been really just kind of showing us that the world is turning. So we also had one stun deck in the top cut of this event, which is actually pretty freaking awesome, man. I cannot tell you the last time that I really saw a control deck kind of step on out here and show us that, oh, you know, maybe this is something we need to be worried about. We also have Sprite actually stepping up to the plate here, and Hero. Now, Hero actually getting the chance to show us some different things is also quite nice. Hero's definitely one of those decks right now that definitely a lot of people are going to kind of take a look at. They're going to go, huh, you know, like, is this how we're supposed to play it? Yeah, and then, of course, the last list for this event was none other than Phantom Knights, actually, which is kind of interesting to really see at the end of the day that, you know, the Rongo Bongo Turbo is still up to standard out here. So we're going to pass on over so you can kind of see what we're doing with some of these decks. Winning the event here was actually another time-rendering Morganite deck. Now, I've really enjoyed, actually, so many people crapped on time-rendering Morganite. They're like, the card is so bad, like, why would you play it? Well, Inspector Border deck with Fairy Tale Luna, with all these control aspects, actually is the deck that wants to see this card. They want to use this card in a way to kind of paralyze and punish the opponent so you can, you know, set up and do your thing. You also notice we're playing one Flashing Fire in here for a Runic card, which is kind of cool. We're citing a mini Bysteel package, which is really fine at the end of the day. You will see a lot of your standardized decks kind of doing their thing here. And honestly, this looks pretty standard. Now, extra deck's going to be dedicated to, you know, extra deck things. If you need to make like a Constellar Knight Diamond, or, you know, the big guy to punish your opponent, and then just a lot of generic other resources to kind of bring this on home. Yeah, I can tell that this deck is a lot more fine-tuned to kind of handle some of the metagames. So good stuff with this. Now, we also have this little Sprite deck. Now, for those of you that don't know, anytime we look at Sprite, you will see the same thing here. They do have the Ronin Totem package, but their Sprite package is very, very reduced in the number of things that they have. Starter and Smasher is actually pretty decimated in terms of the numbers that they get access to. But you still see, hey, we can still play the Deep Sea Diva package, no problem. You're still playing a Bysteel package. And we are playing, yes, Dimension Shifter in the main deck. This thing's going to give you a lot of bang for your buck and really punish your opponent. You also see we are playing Gamma Burst and Smashers in the deck. You have no reason not to play Smashers, honestly. It just gives an extra layer of, like, control and good stuff to the deck. So honestly, for the way that this deck is designed at the current point, it might not be the best thing in the world, but it's definitely going to get the job done for, you know, what you're really looking for. Plus, you know, Sprint is a stupid good card at the end of the day. So Yu-Gi-Oh! And then the last we have from this event is actually a hero deck. Now, the thing that's most interesting about this is we're playing Scythe and Sanctum. You don't really see that a lot from hero players. A lot of hero players, I feel like, kind of just take the backseat approach to this. They're like, well, you know, we'll just go ahead and, you know, Ian Shuffle, Dark Law, but we're not actually playing Ian Shuffle. I noticed a lot of the OCG builds, they don't really rely on Dark Law Pass. While it is a good strategy and it does show some merit, a lot of these players just don't opt for it. Whether or not Dark Law is just super easy to break, or it's not like a super powerful monster at the end of the day to kind of hold its own, it's very board breaking, I feel like. So a lot of cool tech options here. Kind of showcases some of the different ideas and things that you can kind of iterate. But at the end of the day, this does feel like a very standardized hero deck. And like I said, I do think that when you can start to see same option trees, different things kind of come together, it really does show. All right, now we're going to pass on over to the second tournament breakdown. Now this event's going to feel a little bit more meta than some of the others that we've seen. Now on the flip side here, from the last event, you didn't get to see what what a Phantom Knight deck look like? Well, for the Taiyo event here, you are going to get the chance to see kind of what Phantom Knights are kind of bringing to the table here. I think it's kind of important to know that in terms of everything that you've seen from Phantom Knights, this deck is a much different incarnation in the OCG because they still have Rongo Reminiad to kind of back them up. It definitely is an interesting story at the end of the day, just kind of what power options and things that you can really see with how unfair Rongo Bongo actually is. I mean, when you can set a condition on a monster and basically bully your opponent out and not getting the chance to really play the game, it's kind of insane. We also have another hero deck out of this event. Now, well, I said, if you're a hero player, you're really going to enjoy this because when you have two hero decks kind of show up back to back here in the grand scheme of an event, it kind of makes you go, huh, you know, this is actually really, really nice. And we also had a Sword Soul deck in this event. So you're going to get the chance to see how the OCG has been handling Sword Soul as of late. Sword Soul has been not a very good place. I mean, obviously in the TCG, it's doing a little bit better. I mean, it's still grinding against like the upper tier menace that is tier elements. I mean, that's not really a lot to say at the end of the day. But when you can see, you know, hey, you know, the format's kind of starting to allow this to kind of show back up, it's doing its thing. Now, the whole reason why I wanted to cover this was there was an Eldlich deck that made top 4. An Eldlich deck in Bestial Purgatory. That is crazy to me. And like I said, the main reason is you don't see a lot of Eldlich anymore. Even though the deck is a very good trap deck, it's kind of getting outclassed by Labyrinth at this point in time. To see that, you know, they did get a new toy recently. The Apostle is actually a bonkers card. All right, like, so to see like all of these pieces kind of moving together to kind of show a little bit different of things is actually kind of nice. And I mean, to be fair, when you're looking at a lot of these OCG tournaments, a lot of the diversity that you're kind of looking for here, a lot of them are going to be relatively smaller events. But when you can see some of these ideas actually translate, I know there's a few people like, no, Robbie, the OCG doesn't translate. Yes, it does to some degree. There will always be cool ideas and cool concepts that players will take a look at and go, huh, this is actually pretty cool. That's why I like doing these style videos. All right, we're going to pass on over to the top deck list. All right, well, winning the event here is our Phantom Knight pile. Now, you're going to notice something about this it's going to be a little bit weird to you. We are playing a Minkanko package in this. So we're playing the Double Water Abereske, the new spell card, and the Fire Kagura, and then just one of each of the Priestess. Now, this kind of just opens up some interesting little lines. Obviously, I mean, you're playing a Soldness, so you're kind of using this package to kind of make sure that you can kind of support the Assault package and get some free advantage off of it. Is it good? I mean, it's something at the end of the day. Also, Rongo Reminiad kind of showcasing its power here. Like I said, Rongo plus Bamboozling is amazing. I don't care what format you're really playing for here. Also, do take note of the TCG OCG card combination here. It really is nice to kind of see the locals experience in the OCG where they'll combine cards and you'll get the chance to kind of see how some of these things end up looking. Now, second place here is Hero. Now, previously, I've said that Hero is kind of very standard in the OCG. I mean, they just kind of play Fusion Destiny, Mass Change, and then kind of just like all the good hero stuff to kind of turbo through and make those standard boards. Now, this build is kind of interesting because they're playing double Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. You don't really see that. Most of the builds will just dedicate to the one and kind of call it a day. So to kind of see that double header package here, I'm very intrigued by that, how that actually worked. We're also playing Double Wonder in here as well. Very, very interesting. I feel like this kind of skipped out on a lot of the more standard hero stuff, is just kind of pushing for this. Now, do keep in mind that we are playing one tasking in this deck, the ability to search for literally any spell card that you need, as long as your opponent really kind of engaged with you. Just kind of puts you in such a huge advantage. So, yeah, you got a lot going on for you. You're also playing Dark World No More because you kind of have to board break in order to kind of keep up. It's kind of the state of Hero. Now, we also have Sword Soul. Now, when I made the beginning of this video, I was like, you know, how is Sword Soul really keeping up? Well, they still have our favorite ban card in the world to kind of keep them going. Mr. I can blow up something, set a condition, and your opponent really can't play the game. Now, you do see that we are playing 2 by steel. Our 10E package is massively reduced in this deck. Now, one cool thing that you will see down here is we are playing the Big Ice Shade Synchro. Now, you're probably like, wait, really? We're doing this? Yes, it is a little bit of a tech option here that this deck is actually doing. They're also playing number 101. The Psyche Again Punisher translates over. That's not all that surprising, but a lot of cool little tech options for this deck. I don't agree with the double blackout, but I suppose depending on how you're trying to build this deck or like what matchups you're going to have to endure, it kind of makes some interesting little options here. And then the last deck that we have is, you guessed it, our Eldlich deck. Now, the thing that makes this list really interesting to me is the fact that Chaos Angel is just able to be made in here. And I knew that Chaos Angel was going to be a problem because of how generic it is. Literally, Conk plus trap card, Higuero, is Chaos Angel. Or, you know, double Higuero. Yeah, think about that for a second. When you can have access to a power card like that, it's nuts. And we also get to play the Apophis of the Swamp, the new, like, skill drain, what negates for every face-up continuous trap card you have. So they're focusing on something like, you know, the Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors and things like that. But this should give you an idea of, like, the current state of Eldlich. Like, this deck is so cool. Chaos Angel changes so much in the game that it's actually kind of insane at the end of the day. So I just want to give a pretty big shout out to kind of all the moving pieces here, because there's a lot to kind of take in out of this breakdown for these decks. So what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.